Hey, shalom, shalom. Very good night to you. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Shalom, Bukrei Tov. Shalom, Laila Tov. Shalom, Erev Tov. Shalom, Zoraim Tov. These are greetings in the Hebrew language, the language of our ancient forefathers, us, those of us that are the Hebrew Israelites that are scattered in the diaspora. It is with pleasure in my heart and I'm very thankful and grateful to come before you once again to share thoughts that can help to improve your life and help you so that you can be in a position to be of service to the children that, some people would say, the other children of God. We say being in service to humanity. So one of the things that have been on my mind over the last few weeks is the most impactful lessons that young men especially can take away to gratefully impact and influence their own, your own success and development in the next few years. Now, this is what I want you to really delve into. Maybe the three most impactful things that you can learn, skill sets that you can learn that will drastically change your fortunes. Number one, the ability to read exceptionally well, beyond the college level of reading. Number two, the ability to write. And again, write at a very proficient level. And thirdly, the mastering the skill of speaking, being eloquent before an audience. What appalls me today is I've encountered too many for that matter, persons that you offer them a book because I generally give gifts, books as gifts. And one of the things that I use as a line in giving a gift is the value of the book in terms of the price. The real value might be 10 times more. So take this gift and take it with good care and commitment. Now, I've heard too many persons say that, oh, reading is boring. I hate reading. In an era of information, this is not the industrial era anymore. It is the tech era, yes, but we're in the information era. And I dare say we are in the information overload season. So if you want to be the best that you can be in terms of delivering great service and be of help to all humanity or those that you touch, that you're closest to, it's crucial, it's critical, it's important that you embrace learning and sifting through the misinformation today. And most persons, and I think in school, we've not been taught how impactful reading, writing, and speaking really is. Let's go a little further. Reading gives you the ability to build bridges over from peak to peak. And I try to make it vivid. If this is a valley, peak to peak would actually be a shorter and easier journey. If you can get across here or the other way, the distance is shorter and the journey is a lot easier, because this is your valley, the uphill, the downhill, and then the uphill. The uphill is very arduous, difficult at times. But reading the experiences, the lessons that you can gather from someone that have made the journey that you're on now can shorten the distance. It's actually building a bridge over that valley. So it shortens the time that you can learn and adapt and extract the value out of the lessons that otherwise you would have had to experience on your own and have the pain of your own experiences. Reading allows you to gain insights beyond your age and beyond the time that you are living in. It hurts to the depths of my soul sometimes, because I've not been a lover of reading all my life, but growing up, my father was the one that really pushed me into reading. And I read so much. But then eventually I started to realize that I learned about topics that allowed me to be respected and be parts of conversations that was enlightening, not only for myself but for the persons that I was conversing with. And I recall my friends calling me Zazu. If you remember the bird that seems to know a lot of things that was in the movie The First Lion King. And the premise behind it, they called me Zazu, and they were saying, he reads a lot, he knows a lot of things. You want to know something, go ask him. And I'm talking about my peer group that were older than me, growing up in the environment, in the tongue that I grew up in, up until my late teen years. They called me Zazu. But it came because I was engulfed in continual learning outside of the academic arena in terms of schools. And to some degree, I think that schools today creates limitations in the commitment to learn, because there is a connection with the fear of failing because of the school setting with learning. So most people, when they finish school, when they finish college, when they leave university, they seem to have adverse thoughts on continually reading, researching, studying. But reading empowers you. It opens up your creativity. You're able to acquire knowledge, wisdom, and then when you analyze the information, you're able to grow in your understanding, and you're able to make better decisions as a result of learning faster because of going on the journey in books through the eyes and the lens of persons that might be older than you, persons that have lived hundreds of years before you and I. So reading brings about that, it fills that gap, it empowers you, and it enhances your creative ability. And do you know that your cognitive ability not only improves with exercise, but it improves with continual reading? It staves off or eases or stops or slows down, more than likely some would say, the effects of Alzheimer's or the growth on you of Alzheimer's. When you keep the brain sharp. And the beauty about reading is this: the words that form images make you have to form the images in your mind. It's unlike a movie or a video. It allows you to expand your capacity to think, imagine, to create, to even innovate. So reading well is a power that is lacking today, and among or in countries that are developing, I think that it's of absolute importance that it starts in the home. Do you know that homes where the televisions are bigger than the library, in a few generations, those families will be poorer? It's known that if you read and you get into the habit of reading 5 books, 6 books a month, your earning capacity doubles, triples, and quadruples within 5 years. For some, in 10 years, imagine raising your own income 100-fold. But the acquisition of knowledge through your own commitment to study, your own commitment to self-education, expands your possibilities. So that's the first skill. The second skill that you want to master is the skill of writing. And I was listening to Jocko Willink, who wrote Extreme Ownership. And this is a former Navy SEAL. I think that most young men should go into the military or have some exposure to an environment of extreme discipline, where also they can have adventures that it's controlled, but you're allowed to expand your own sphere of experience because of the opportunities that are before you. But what I learned about Navy SEALs, one of the things that they have to master is the ability to articulate their position with the pen. If you're going on a mission, you have to write it up so that your superiors will give you the approval. When you finish a mission, or if there's some altercation, you have to write up a report. You have to have a debrief. The people in the military will understand much more of what I'm talking about. But if you don't have the ability to write well and express yourself with the pen, you may not even get promoted. You know, people get promoted today based on years of service. She was a teacher for 15 years, so we will make her the deputy headmistress. But in the real world of productive capacity and capability, you have to continually improve your ability to produce. You have to continually expand your capacity. Having the ability to write gives you an opportunity to clarify the way you think. If you don't write things down, how do you know that you have thought it out clearly if you can't articulate it with the pen? And this is cliche today. The pen is mightier than the sword. As an author, becoming a writer, because I'm working on more books at this time, I found it, there's some people that are intimidated by your presence as a writer, as an author. Also, I found that people look at you and show you more respect when they read your work. I found that you can earn more if you are a published author for the same, in terms of delivering the same results that someone else that is not an author can deliver. You would be paid more. That's what I've experienced. I also found that having a book brought me or provided me with opportunities that someone with a business card wouldn't get, or someone with a first degree, a bachelor's of arts or so. Even some persons that have a master's degree, I've seen that I've been able to be rewarded and compensated more than a person that has a master's degree. And the premise is really that you're able to deliver, and that's the bottom line, deliver results. But writing well is a power in itself. Even when someone is small in stature, you become more intimidating when you walk in a room when you have a track record of writing well. You become more intimidating than a person that is an exceptional physical specimen. Big arms, chest, biceps, and all of that. As a writer, you're looked at and you're treated differently. Writing gives you a chance to be paid more. I think I said that before, but what it really does, it sets you apart in a way that you're admired. You know, sometimes people stop and they look at you, and you can see that they're in awe, and their respect, the respect that comes your way. Sometimes it's embarrassing too, because I've had persons come up to me and say, "Man, Mr. Israel, your book changed my life. Your book changed everything about me," you know. I've had parents tell me, "Since my son read your book, I don't know what has come over him, but he is much more disciplined and focused. I don't know what words you reached him with, but I just can't believe it." That's the power of writing. And finally, the ability to articulate your position with the tongue, speaking. All great revolutions were started with exceptional speakers articulating with exceptional eloquence, or having the capability to move an audience in unbelievable ways. Persons that speak well also are paid more. Persons that have the ability to make their case in speech are perceived as leaders, and they're given positions of leadership and responsibility. And this affords you the opportunity to be of greater help to persons that need it, because you're in the driver's seat that can make the decisions that would immediately help others. I mean, there's some people that they're able to further their own ideas and their own goals and their own aspirations because they have the ability to be influential and persuasive in using their tongue. But for the most part, my emphasis is on you being able to increase your impact, increase your influence in ways that are of help to your fellow man and women, men and women, and children. I found that speaking well earns you greater respect in the same way that having the ability to write does. But if you're able to speak consistently, demonstrating that you're a person of character, a person that has competence, and a person that has courage, and you're able to do this consistently, people respect you more. You earn their respect because of that consistency, coupled with, as I said, with your character. These are the tenets, the things that are, I think, it's not emphasized enough today. And I strongly believe that it's the duty of parents, it's the duty of husbands in your home to lead in the mastery of these skills, these three skills: the ability to read well, the ability to write exceptionally well, and the ability to speak and present as a master. These skills will make you an unstoppable force. The pen is like a weapon. Imagine you having your own armory. Just lock yourself away and write your thoughts. You'd be amazed that you can move people, move them emotionally, move them with what motivates and inspires you to action, for change, for the good of man. I mean, there are people that have done it for evil, but I want you to take it and think of it in a way as how you can be of service to your fellow man, and how you can use it, yes, to better yourself, yes, to open doors of opportunities to you and the persons that you love, but more so for the good of all humanity. So at this time, just think on these things. I would like to ask you to share the video, like it, subscribe to the channel. This is the channel for high performers. Share it with your workforce, your workers. Share it with your team. If you're on a sports team, share it with your peers, your colleagues at work, or wherever you are, if you find it beneficial. If you don't find it beneficial, that's fine. And if this is very helpful also, leave a comment below the video, and surely we will continue to dialogue and share wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This is Kesquia Yisrael Amore. I greet you again with the words of the Hebrew language, the words of peace. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom, shalom.